Sometimes I feel like Sharpay Evans doing like the.
No, I'm like, I've got the jitters right now. I gotta bring it.
Fire burning all my lights.
Hey guys, welcome back to 94.7 Hits FM Future Hits. I'm Vass, and I'm here with our Future Hits artist, or should I say artists, plural, but we're here with Joey from What If Elephants. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you. It's nice to be here.
It's nice to have you.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad I dressed okay, because
Yes,
we're TV. Can we call it TV?
We could. I mean, YouTube at this point is more important than
Exactly.
TV. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So we're being watched. We're being filmed. We have to present a visual aesthetic. So
That's wonderful.
Yes, I think we look great, if I do say so myself. Anyway, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the band. We want our listeners to learn all about you and get to know you guys.
Yeah. So my name is Joey. I'm the singer and guitarist sometimes in the band. Our drummer is Justin Wiley, keyboardist Alana Martin, and our bassist Colin Steins. We've been playing together as a band for 7 years, and Colin joined us more recently. Yeah, we play like indie pop stuff. We self-produce all our music, self-produce most of our music videos at this point, which has been really fun. It's been a good hobby as much as we could make it work during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just love creating stuff.
Honestly, that's really good, and like it shows. It shows that you guys have fun with it.
Oh, thanks.
Like I am a very big believer in music says a lot more than the lyrics. So like you can tell, not that this is like wrong, but like you could tell when an artist is writing a song that someone else wrote, or like an artist is singing a song that's like been heavily produced by lots of people compared to like just them producing it themselves. And like you can kind of tell that it's a very collaborative effort of love.
Yeah.
Like your music, like it's just, I don't know, it's just very fun and cohesive.
Yeah. Even at this point, there's sometimes during the pandemic, especially because we recorded a lot of the material we've been releasing during that period, there has been times where I've been creating stuff on my own in the apartment. But even in that case, you're thinking about the other musicians and what they might do in those cases, and then sending files back and forth like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. But thank you. No, I love that comes across. That's awesome.
No, it does. And like you were saying, kind of like you guys are still individuals. You obviously still have your own essence that you bring to the band. But it's funny that you're saying you kind of still create thinking about everyone, thinking about the collective, thinking about the group, trying to make sure that it represents not only you, but like everyone as well, which is great and important.
And we definitely, I know that one thing we always do is like we try and as much as possible just serve whatever the song needs to be, which is especially in earlier years, like really led to very different sounding songs from one another. Yeah. And it's taken time to kind of like make them more synergetic, just, regardless of what mood they're creating. But it's been a cool journey.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you were mentioning, all the songs you've released now and like the pandemic and all that. And from what I see, I don't know if you'll agree, but like from what I see and like just comparing to like the music industry in general, y'all have been very busy this year. There's been a lot of releases in 2021.
Yes. Like all the energy that, used to be put into making shows happen, which is a lot of energy. Yeah. Like any given show that I've put together, there's at least an email chain of like 30 to 50 messages, just with one person, just to get the logistics cleared. And then you've got like the 20 people performing or whatever. Yeah. All that has gone into creating music. And so all those emails back and forth, the writing sessions, Zoom, Google Meets, whatever people are using.
Whatever platform you're using.
Yeah. So it's been kind of crazy. Also releasing music right now is also insane because it's kind of like a toss-up of who else is releasing music? What am I in competition with? Not in a bad sense, but just, everyone has a certain audience and everyone has a very like broad musical taste. I find a lot of people have broad musical taste. So you don't even know who really you're competing with when you release a song. So it's really interesting how that kind of comes into play. But I think overall, it's been a really good 2 years. It's been a bad 2 years in a lot of ways, but I think people have had a lot of time to think about exactly what they want to do and create that,
for sure.
if or at least some version of it while you're just left with your thoughts,
exactly. And like, it's as simple as me being one of them, some people learning how to make different kinds of bread.
Yeah.
Or like other people that can really invest in their art and put all that time into creating something that is beautiful that they probably wouldn't have been able to create otherwise or wouldn't have had the time to.
Yeah. Alana, our keyboardist, makes awesome sourdough.
There we go.
Yeah.
See, so you get the bread. You get the
yeah,
bread.
Yeah, I totally get it. The bread was an early indicator of the good things to come from a pandemic.
Yeah,
at
of
least.
one of the
the
there's
upside.
I mean, like, not to say silver linings, but
Yeah.
silver linings a little bit.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys were still able to enjoy the releases, because that's something that I've kind of noticed also is different. Like, you can't, be around a group of people listening together.
Yeah, it was our releases, like it's the one we released one in like January 2020. That one was like obviously pretty quiet. We were all like in our houses.
We quarantine.
Yeah, there was nothing we could
curfew.
Do. The latest few, it was nice because we could like sit in the backyard with a couple people, and have drinks at a social distance and just celebrate in a small way that you don't really get to, right? Like every time you come up to a release in the when the norm is kind of unraveling, you've got the launch coming up. You're rehearsing like just like crazy.
Yeah.
So there's, I don't know, I love meeting new people. And it's like, it's one of the things I love doing is like making connections and everything. But it's also, I think a unique time to be cherished when like you have no other choice but to sit down with some close friends and like have a toast to a release and be like, we did it, despite everything going on.
And you can kind of just like you said, have the close friends, the people that like oftentimes were like, if not directly, like indirectly involved with the process and just enjoy it in like a low key way.
Exactly.
And yes, it's going to be fun to be able to get back to like huge launch parties, but like it is nice to enjoy for a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of launches though, you did have a very recent launch, August 20th.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, I'm trying to think of like what day that is, but that's not going to make sense because this interview is not coming out today. But August 20th, yes. And Building Me Up.
Yeah.
Right? So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So Building Me Up is, I think, probably the oldest song that we've released in this past year that's part of our upcoming EP.
Okay.
Or upcoming, I don't know what, again.
I love upcoming projects. Sorry.
Building Me Up was written back in 2018 with our friend Beau. Bela's a pop artist based here in Montreal.
Yes, who's also featured on it.
Yeah. So, I figured you guys would know each other already.
No, actually, but now I feel like I should.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let me hook you up.
Okay, yeah, please. Yeah, clearly I've been missing out. Okay,
if anyone's wondering what
that.
happens after the radio interview.
That's what's happening.
So we wrote this track together, and I had since you run into a burnout with work, couldn't get off the couch, and it was a really hard year. And my wife, Alana, who plays keyboard, you guys have heard that name before.
Yes.
So she plays keyboard in the band. We'd been married for a few months, and it was a really hard start to, hey, what is it like to kind of share everything? So I was just always blown away at, despite what I was going through, how supportive she was and non-judgmental. Because it definitely takes a toll on whoever you're close to when you're going through a hard time.
Yeah.
And so Building Me Up was essentially just talking about, the words of the chorus say you're fearless to my weakness. You come on and you build me up again. We'll conquer the darkness. You come on and you build me up again. It really felt like that. It just felt like there was this inner strength in her that just allowed her to still be close to me, even though there was kind of this, you kind of, if you put this, you invest into this person, you kind of feel like it's all going to fall apart the next day because they're going to be, feeling good for 1 minute and then I was down the next. So we wrote that song, and I just wanted it to kind of be, that those words in the chorus, we'll conquer the darkness, is just kind of that one string of hope I had during that time. So it's on the EP, it's probably the darkest sounding song. But I definitely feel like music is about feeling those things, and I think the song does that. I think the song kind of communicates that hopelessness in the dark, but then just this string to hold on to, and we hope it sounds epic too.
Yeah, no,
we put some investment into the tones.
Yeah, and it does. It like you said, it really just communicates the sadness, but sadness with a little bit of that it's gonna be fine. It's just
Yeah.
like right now it's really not, but like
Yeah.
it will be, like, and you just have to kind of push through that.
Yeah.
And like, not to put words in your mouth or anything, but like, from what you're saying, like, it sounds like that's kind of like what happened. So like revisiting that song like at this point now is probably also just very meaningful and emotional, because it's kind of like you that string of hope like did end up like helping.
Yeah.
Again, not to like, if that's
No,
not
no.
the case, but
No, let me like come out and confirm that for you. So like, yeah, it was really a gradual thing. It was like, it took years, and I'd say that I'm still recovering. Like, I started seeing a therapist a few months ago, and I'd say that had that all not happened, I probably wouldn't be. But sure enough, I'm like speaking with the therapist, and that's just kind of like, you know, when you have those moments in life where you hit your kind of bottom, it's like you're not really trying to figure out what happened in that one instant. You're like, you have a whole life of events that formed who you were, and all the choices you made. So like now I'm visiting all that, and it's in a way I can be thankful with everything that happened, and to be able to kind of like process my life in a way that I never would have. And yeah, I'm so stoked, because I never thought, like, our band name, What If Elephants, is kind of like, we want to put like address the elephant in the room. Like, what's the real stuff, the real happening in your life? Like, let's address that elephant in the room. I didn't necessarily think, like, this EP called Relationship Status, I didn't think I would write an EP like this, where it's all just relationship songs, and most of them are about Alana, actually, inspired by those different stages. But like, yeah, this one's close to the heart. Yeah. I'm not actually, just people watching know.
With the masks, though, you can't tell.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
Yeah.
But no, that sounds like there's definitely a lot to look forward to. So you guys better definitely keep an eye out on What If Elephants, and like, make sure that you don't miss that EP, because I know I'm going to be listening to it, and I have a feeling I'm going to be crying, but it's A-okay. Before we head out, though, I just had one final question, and I ask everyone this because everyone always has a different answer, and every answer always like teaches me something else, and I hope it teaches you guys something else as well. What is something you would like to put out into the world, if you had like one thing to say?
One thing to say. Say that probably the most helpful thought, as long as I listen to it, is no matter how difficult a moment you're going through right now, if you think back through your life, you know for a fact that you go from one moment into the next, and the next moment in and of itself, regardless of what you do, may be entirely different, and bring in something entirely different to you, and also allow you to bring something entirely different to the world. So just, if right now is shitty and you can't do anything, just wait for the next moment, because they keep coming, and they always will. And if you think back, they always have. Obviously, all of us live different life experiences, and some of us have maybe a more dense track record of crappy moments. But I'm almost certain that at some point we've seen a moment at least change, offer something new. And so, yeah, for me that got me through a lot. It's just like, okay, I'll just wait to the next moment. That's it.
No, and change is inevitable, and it's very easy to look at that and think of that as a scary thing, but you can also look at that as a way to give you hope when you're dealing with tough times. So that's definitely something that, like, yeah, you're 100% right. There's always something that's going to come after, and who knows what that could be, but yeah, it could be pretty great.
Yeah, it's that reality of the world.
Exactly. And speaking of what's coming after, we have to get on with our lives after this, because as much as I would like to, we can't be here talking all day. Also, no one would watch that.
No.
I wish they would, but like a 24-hour
let's
emotional, like, not clickbait, 24-hour conversation, like, let's go.
Let's see how we do in our careers. We'll meet back in maybe 10 years, and we can maybe
revisit it. We'll make it like a
idea.
decade thing. Every decade we'll just check back in. We'll be on our rocking chairs in like 80 years, like, back in my day. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Sorry, don't come for me. I didn't mean to. That was anyway. Haha. But thank you so much for joining us, and
Been
we're
such a
really
pleasure.
excited to have you guys on again. That's What If Elephants on the entire month of September, and feature you guys and just share you with our listeners. And we're glad that you guys are coming along for the ride. You guys over there are going to come along for the ride. Where can people find you?
Yeah. If you want to find kind of everything, you can go to I'm like a 90s kid. Whatifelephants.com. Wow.
I'm
You can
surprised
find
you didn't
us.
say HTTPS
Yeah.
dot dash dash.
Exactly. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm working on my TikTok game. Again,
Okay.
child in the 90s. I am a little bit slower at adopting that new technology, but
I feel that.
I'm aware it's something you must be doing as a musician these days. So.
Yeah. And we'll also have all that info all on our website right here. You can check that all out. Thank you so much for joining us, Joey.
Such a pleasure.
It was so nice talking to you. And we will catch you guys in the next one here on Montreal's Hottest Music, 94.7 Hits FM.